It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to inspire. Our mission is to empower, and our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, the hardworking individual, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this particular episode, we have the one and only Chuck. I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. Coffee Cup Doyle in the building by way of Nicole. We appreciate you, Nicole. What's up, Chuck? How are you?
What's going on, man? What's good, people?
I am excited to be here, man.
I'm real excited.
Indeed, we're gonna have this whole conversation around the coffee cup mindset for success. But before we do that, can you take a moment to share why do people struggle today? You're on TikTok and you're doing some amazing things. I know I need to be there. You're on TikTok, but they got TikTok, they got Instagram, they got all the social media out there. Yet people still don't have the right mindset. So my question is, why are people struggling to have the right mindset these days?
Well, Shay, I'm going to start off by saying it's simple. When we were born with one version of ourselves. And then every time you meet someone new, or every time someone runs across your profile or your picture or your personality, the first thing they do is create another version of you. And then over time, we start spending more time trying to satisfy that version that other people put on us, that we forget how to be ourselves, and we lose our minds. We lose our own train of thought and our own thinking. So we got to get back to the simple stuff, and that's where I want to start with today. Just getting off of worrying about what other people are thinking of. Everyone wants you to be what they want you to be, but what about what you want to be? Got to start getting back to who you are, figuring out who you are, and being who you were meant to be.
Yeah, I love that. They're wondering, they can see the bio below, they can see you're an entrepreneur and a number of things. Take a moment because they're all looking at the hat, man. You got the hat on. It says Coffee Cup Chuck up there, right there. So what is this whole coffee cup thing about? How did you get known as Coffee Cup Chuck?
So I used to be a negative person, Shay, man. I worked in a bucket truck. I'm out working one day and I'm boomed up on a bridge, repairing a light on a light pole. My truck is blocking the bridge, and I'm walking over the bridge. He stops halfway in the bridge, and I'm thinking that I'm intruding in this guy's pathway. So, beautiful day out. I wouldn't normally say anything to anybody. I would just do my job like normal. But today I decided to say something nice. And I told the guy, hey, it's a beautiful day to be alive, right? And he looks up at me, Shay, and he's like, who the hell is dude? Who is this dude? And just walks away. Well, a year later, I'm at a gas station and I had the same hat on. It was a sock monkey hat. And I had that same hat on this day I was working on the bridge. Well, I guess the guy who was on the bridge, he noticed me in this store and he approached me, and, it was this big thing where he hugged me and he told me, hey, dude, you saved my life. I was coming to jump off of that bridge that day, and you said something to me and it changed everything for me. So it kind of put me in a state of mind, man, that, the things that we say, they mean something to people. You can be positive about things, and that little small positive gesture just might save somebody's day. So I kind of started this quest because I couldn't sleep in the morning, getting up and writing a little blog that'll just help get people going in the day. And I mean, people get up and what do they use to get started, Shay? They use the cup of coffee, a good old cup of coffee. And I got this idea that if I put images on the front of these coffee cups and I wrote something positive about that image, it would strike up people in the morning and kind of give them a little small moment thing to actually remember something that you might have forgot, or it's a boost of energy, a little motivation that might just get you going. And I thought it was corny, but after a couple of weeks, you start getting the calls and you start getting text messages of people saying, man, last week I was having a rough week and I read something you wrote, man, and it changed the whole direction of my week, man. Keep doing what you're doing. So I just want to help people, and just knowing that I've saved somebody's life and I'm helping get people through the week, that's enough to keep me going, especially when I got all this bottled up energy anyway that I got to get out. Why not give it as a service? You know what I'm saying? So that's the
And
coffee cup Chuck story, man. And it's really caught on. A lot of people love it, and I love it. Like I say, it's helping people and it's reminding us of who we are. So I do have people that's backing me. I do have people that keep pushing me, and I do have people that I've been able to give this energy over to that help push other people, and that's the Becoming the Best You BTBY movement. And man, we're helping change people's lives, man, and one cup at a time. So
and I'm curious, do you actually drink coffee? I mean,
yeah,
I'm just curious. We're
every
curious.
morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So
every
you
morning.
really do drink coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I really do Folgers. I like Folgers, but I mean, you got the fancier brands. I'm still looking for a coffee company to sponsor me, though. I haven't been able to pull that one off yet, but I'm all over TikTok right now. I'm social media. Like I say, we do a lot of conferences where we help change people and help them become a better person. So that this personality, it travels all over the place. And like I said, we all have stories. I have a very unique story. I don't have time to tell the story today, but Shay, you have a unique story. We all have unique stories. And, when you start putting yourself in a position to share that story with other people, especially if you've been able to overcome those stories, overcome those situations, it just puts other people at ease to where they start believing that they too can overcome some of the things that they're going through. So,
Well, for folks that if someone's watching right now, mental health is very important. I'll say that.
yeah.
And if they're watching right now and if someone's tuning in, and I don't put you on the spot, but they're like, they're at wit's end. I'll just say that. And you have an opportunity to take a minute or two or three and to speak to them. And it might be someone that's going through a divorce right now. And it might be someone that has lost their job. It might be someone that their biggest client has walked out and said they're not renewing the contract. Whatever the situation may be, it might be a family member that's in trouble. Take a moment and look in the camera if you would. And what words would you share to that person that's just like, this Chuck, I hear you, but this is tough. What would you say to them?
It's tough. So I think our biggest problem is when we get in those situations, we make the choice right then and there. We make the choice for that individual that we are at that moment. And this is deep, Shay. I'm about to go a little bit deep because it needs to be deep and it needs to get out there.
Yes.
One person we forget is the person that we want to become. We forget the person that we want to be. We forget the future person. And that person is the person that actually has to deal with all of the consequences of the things that you choose to do in your current situation. So if you are going through a divorce, or if you are going through a job change, or anything that you have to make a decision on, don't make the decision. Stop making all these decisions for the now. Start having a discussion with the person that you want to become, you need to become. Sit down and have a real conversation with that person. You get to know that person. That's why we get so crazy in our heads and we don't understand what's real and what's not real, because we want everything right then and there to be right, right in that moment. But things have to, you have to get things to those points. And to get those things to the point, Shay, you have to make the right decisions right then and there. And sometimes we forget that the person that we're going to become is the person that we need to be consulting in. Hey man, if you listening, and I do it all the time, Shay. A lot of people say, how are you so successful in your life right now? How are you able to pull off some of the things you've been able to pull off? And it's been because I've been talking with that guy. That's who I talk to. I say, hey, listen, man, what do you want? You know, right now I'm going through a bad time, man. I want to wig out. Should I wig out? And he says, you know what? Wig out a little bit, but get it out of your system and then get back, because I need you to do this, and this is what you need to do. And I listen, and instead of just, nah, man, I got it right now. I'm gonna take care of it right now. I got it. I know the answer. I listen to him, and I've really found out a lot of things out that I refused to listen to before in my past, because I wanted to listen to that rebel, that person right then and there, the person that was living that life right then and there. So if you are going through stuff in your head and you can't straighten it out, and you just can't seem to shake all of the different talks, zone in on that one voice, the one voice, because there's always going to be a lot of voices in your head. It's going to be parents, you're going to have friends, and everybody wants you to be what they want you to be, or to act the way they want you to act. But that future person, he ain't going to never lie to you. He's going to always tell you the truth, because he knows what's best for him. She knows what's best for her. So focus on that person and listen to your future person.
I love it. You know, folks are listening right now and they're saying Coffee Cup Chuck he's on point. It makes sense, Shay. But who is this guy? Like, what's his backstory? I mean, it sounds good. I mean, you know, what does he know about going through tough times? What does he know about being knocked down? Or what does he know about finding himself in situations and having to pull through? Or better yet, has he been able to eat his own cooking? Well, we don't know, ladies and gentlemen. So let's ask Coffee Cup Chuck. Do you mind sharing a little bit about your backstory, your background, so people understand that Chuck that's there today wasn't always that guy?
No, man. You know, and I at one point in my life, I used to wish I didn't go through half the stuff that I went through. But today, man, I stand here resilient, that I probably wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go through that stuff. So I started my journey off at 14 years old. You know, broke into a couple of pawn shops and held somebody at gunpoint, and next thing you know, I'm 15 years old being shuffled off to prison. Not day camp or juvenile detention center, prison. The youngest inmate in the Nebraska prison system, 2089. It's a long time ago, but that's when it started. And it created a revolving door of me going in and out of the system, in and out of the system. And, you know, you get to a point where you got to draw the line. You got to make a decision on what you're going to do with the rest of your life. So I started asking myself, what are you going to do with yourself? You know, what are you doing for yourself? What are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? You're ruining your life, and you got to take control of it again. So this right here, I had to change it. And that's a delicate situation, because even in the storm, even in the pit of the fire, you got to change your mindset, man. That's not always easy to do, but it's not easy to do, Shay, if you say it's not easy to do. I stopped saying that I can't do it, or this is the reason why. Oh, I'm a prisoner. I got this felony record. I can't get this job. I can't do this. I can't do that. I just stopped doing all the things that didn't work for me, Shay, and I started doing all of the things that would work for me. And I started believing in myself. And now I own my own electrical lighting company. I am the founder of an investment group called TAMIC, which is the acronym for the American Mastermind Investment Club. I'm an author, a motivational speaker, a podcast host. I mean, and I'm still growing. Who knows what I'll be tomorrow, because I believe that I'm going to be something more. So, you know, that's my backstory is this. I came from an environment where the odds were against me. I had negativity pounding me with disbelief, and I grew up in that environment where we were all poor. My friends were poor. You know, my girlfriend was poor. My parents were poor. The neighbors were poor. We were all poor. So how do you get out of that? How do you shake that? You just make the decision. That's it. You decide if you want to be poor, rich, or famous. And I just took the decision that I was tired of living the way I was living. And I went from that inmate decided when I got out of federal prison, which was my last sentence, I decided that, dude, I'm gonna go to college, and this is what I'm gonna do next, and then this is what I'm gonna do next, and then I'm gonna do everything that I didn't do before. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it this way. Lo and behold, Shay, it works. So it's just a choice. What do you choose today? Are you choosing, for anyone out there listening? What are you choosing? Are you choosing to lose the battle, or are you choosing to win the battle? And I like to say this to a lot of people, Shay. We were all born with a ticket, a lottery ticket. We search trying to win day. Every Friday and Wednesday and Saturday, they come out with a new lottery. And we were born with a lottery ticket. How are you spending it? How are you spending your winning? This life that you have could have easily went to another sperm cell, and it was given to you. So we have this life, but we don't know how to live it. And when you start living it for yourself instead of living it for everybody else, you start becoming more clear with what you want in your life. So my suggestion would be, no matter what your past is, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you came from, start living your life. Live it for you. And, you know, once you start realizing that this life is only your life, how precious it is, maybe you will start understanding that this life is only here for a second. So, but yeah, man.
Yeah. So well said, man. One of the questions I love to ask on the show, and for you, the audience, I like to ask the question, what's one of the mentors? Because I believe that success is a team sport. Coffee cup, Chuck. We don't get here by ourselves. And so, on this journey of life, what was one of the mentors that maybe you had along this journey? What was the lesson that you learned from them? And for you watching, this is when you can lean in, because you get to get wisdom from a mentor that Coffee Cup Chuck had that you may never meet, but you can take that one idea and you can use it for the rest of your life. Take it away, Chuck.
Yeah. So I know you heard of the book Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Napoleon Hill.
Classic.
I was given in federal prison by a guy. The guy had his family, he had a real nice support system. I didn't have that big support system this guy had, but he was trying to change his life. He had a couple of years. He didn't really have a lot of years, but he had, I think it was like 7 years or something. But they would send him all these books. And I was always told, if you're ever looking for the answer to something, you can always find it hidden somewhere in a book. So I would read some of the books that he got, and he gave me the Think and Grow Rich book. But I remember, I'll never forget this guy. I don't even remember the cat's name, but he lost his whole family, Shay, on a visit, because they were all coming to visit him, and they were traveling in an RV, and that RV swerved, and the RV swerved because a semi tractor driver fell asleep behind the wheel, and I guess he swerved and pushed the RV off the road. It killed everybody in the RV, which was all his support system. So the guy went crazy. He blamed himself, because if they weren't coming to visit him, he probably it wouldn't have never happened. So long story short, this guy takes off. They lock him up for his safety. I'm stuck with this book, and my whole mind is, this could have been me. This could have been my family. This could have been my situation. I got to do something to change it. So I held on to that book, man, and I read the crap out of that book. And reading that book led me to other books, like, the Laws of Human Nature, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and the One Thing, and Eat That Frog, and I mean all these different books that help
Wow.
me form who I am. So when you say mentor, reading is what helped put me in a position to where I knew things that my parents or my friends or my associates weren't able to teach me. And I mean, when you start getting knowledge, man, a whole lot changes. It's easier for you to change your mindset, because you create this habit of uh, needing that. So now I don't even watch TV. If I'm watching TV, Shay, I'm watching a movie about how you changed your life. You know what I'm saying? Or a documentary, or I mean, I might even dabble a little bit in National Geographics or something. But other than that, man, what is going to bring me value? What is going to bring me value? That's what's going to bring me value. Let's get it. And that's how I've been living my life the last 10 years. So, mentorship, get into the books, because sometimes you can't get a hold of your mentors. Sometimes you coaches. Sometimes there's no one else to speak to or talk to. So you got to depend on yourself to self-educate yourself. Self-educate yourself through reading books. So, and if they need some books, reach out to me. I got a list of them. I got a list of some good ones. So,
Oh yeah, what are you reading now? Like what's on your Audible now,
all
or
right.
maybe what do you have on your phone now? If you opened it up, I'm just curious.
I'm
I'm reading a book now that I'm wrapping up called Oversubscribed, and it's a really good book. If you haven't read that book, okay, War, okay,
Nope, the 33 Strategies of War.
yeah, I see it right there. Yeah, 33 Strategies of War.
Yep, 33 Strategies of War. That's by Robert Greene.
Mm-hmm.
He also wrote another one that really inspired me called The Laws of Human Nature. Man, really, really, really deep book, man. Really deep book. But I do have a long list of them. I love Audibles because I can work, I can move around, I can do a lot of other things and still be able to listen. So,
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. We have a segment here called "Today is my January 1st." And for those folks that tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can go ahead and say those words. I know you wait to say it with me. Today is my January 1st. And that exciting Happy New Year to you, by the way. And for all of our new folks that are watching for the very first time, welcome. Whether you found us on Instagram or you found us on YouTube, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at I am Che Brown, or on the on-demand streaming platforms. Let me tell you what today is my January 1st represents. It's our personal mantra at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It means you get a fresh start. You get a do-over. It means your past, no matter what the past is, does not equal the future. Isn't that exciting? So my question to Coffee Cup Chuck Doyle over there is that when you hear the words "today is my January 1st," what do you hear? And what's one of your January 1st moments?
man, my January, I got a couple of them, but I don't want to take up too much time on them. I would definitely say my favorite January 1st moment was stepping out of Fort Dix, New Jersey prison.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Brand new start, new sky. You know, you're seeing everything from the outside of the gate instead of the inside of the gate. And the big question hits you in the head real hard, and it hits you in the stomach. And it's like, so what do you do now? Fresh start. You can do whatever you want. You know, this is your day one. So yeah, that was my January 1st. And since then, man, I've been on the ground running, Shay. I've been running. I've been running fast as heck. Uh
Yeah,
but
and got your
let me
got your
see.
got your own business as well. And what are your words to encouragement for today as my January 1st to inspire and uplift folks? Because now they got to go back to work. They got to do something. They've heard you speak. They heard you have the right mindset. You've got them right. But now they got to go do some work. So what are your
And I
words to
got them
encouragement
on
for those
that.
folks?
I got one real quick. Check this out.
Go
So
ahead.
I started my business, right? I had a bunch of people telling me, "Hey man, you got this personality, dude. You're smart, you know the city. Why don't you start your own business? You would be great with it." So I decided to do it. You know, it was a couple of things that was stopping me from doing it. You know, my credit wasn't the best. I was a felon. You know, we got this color right here. So sometimes, you know, that color can be a barrier for for you with having a criminal history and all of the other things that add on to it. So I'm looking at these things as barriers when they aren't really barriers. But when you're taught when you're taught to use them as barriers, you use them as barriers. So, you know, I started talking about it around town, and I guess it got back to my boss. And my boss pulls up on me one day, Shay, and I'm like, "What's going on, boss?" What brings you here? And he's like, hey, man, I got a question to ask you. I heard from somebody that you was talking about leaving and starting your own company, like my company. And I'm like, dang, I don't want to lie to this man, but I don't want to sit here and tell him the truth because I still need my job. Instead of lying and instead of telling the truth, I just what I felt. And I told him, I said, listen, boss, I said, first of all, I'm an ex-felon. Second of all, it takes a lot of money to start a company, and I don't have that type of money. And I told him, third, I'm African American with a felon. So I don't know. You tell me. And the boss man looks at me. He looks out his front window. I never forget. He looked at me with this look of relief. He looked out his window with his hands on his steering wheel. He looked back at me and said, man, don't even worry about it. That's cool. Just go and get back to work. I'll talk to you later. Let his window up and rolled off. So as he's riding off, Shay, I'm looking at this whole situation and I'm saying, man, you just doubted yourself. You just sat here and told yourself all of the reasons why you haven't took the leap. And I made a point right there. And I'm telling anybody watching this program right now, if you want something and you really, really want it, you don't let no one tell you that you can't get it. Not even yourself, because yourself is the biggest person that'll stop you from getting anywhere. No one else stops you. They can say what they want, but you decide. You ultimately decide what you want to do. And that day, I ultimately decided that that was it. That was it, man. I said, this dude, he doubted me more than I doubted myself, but I gave him the doubt. And you know what? 6 months later, Lumenus Technologies was born. 6 months later, that was over 5 years ago. We're growing strong. I've been able to spin Lumenus Technologies off right now. I got a coach that's coaching us to help us scale our business even higher than what it is. So, and I got that from reading books. So like I say, man, don't let nobody tell you you can't do it. If you're tired of working for somebody else, start working for yourself, because only difference is for working for yourself and working with somebody else is you're giving somebody else the accountability. When are you going to start holding yourself accountable? When are you going to start showing up for yourself and making sure you on time for yourself? Because we'll get up at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock and make sure we at that job on time every time. But how many of you guys out there are really doing it for you? Who's showing up for themselves? When you start showing up for yourself, it feels a whole lot different, Shay. Whole lot different. So, yeah.
Congratulations, man. Well said. How can folks best connect with you over and beyond this conversation? And are you taking on any new clients at this time?
Yeah, man. All they got to do is reach out to Coffee Cup Chuck, TikTok. They can follow me on TikTok. They can reach me at chuckdoyle.com. If they want to book me for any shows or any speaking engagements. They also can go to www.coffeecupchuck.com, and they can find me on Facebook or Instagram under Coffee Cup Chuck.
I love it, man. Thanks so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, man. You're really amazing. Special shout out to Nicole for connecting us together, man.
Yes. And I'm following the show now, man, and I want to check out some of the other amazing stories that you guys got going on here.
Thanks, man. We appreciate that. I can't wait to have eye-to-eye contact with you one day. And let me say thank you to you, all the viewers that are out there that show up. Without you, there is no show, by the way. So if you haven't connected with us on YouTube, head over to YouTube. Just put in at I am Che Brown. Make sure you subscribe, follow us. And what I love to do every night at this moment, this is the favorite thing. I wait for this all day long just to say these words because I want you to be reminded of it, that you're awesome, that you're amazing, that you're incredible and you've got greatness inside you, and that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is still yet to come. With that being said, my name, in case you forgot, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life is short. You got to live in that moment, and you got to make it count. God bless, and we wish you success. Thanks a lot, Chuck. We out of here, everybody. Peace.